I've got a tungsten bead. This is a 2.5mm. Now you can obviously adjust the size to suit. Tie this in all sizes. This one's tied on a size 16, this hook here, from Fully Mill. It's just a jig force black nickel. Nice size. It's more a, how would I look at that? It's more towards a 12. If you're looking at a standard hook, that's what size it would be. The bead size, again, as I see, you can put, that's a 2.4mm. So it's a nice weight, but you can add extra weight. You can adjust it. You can tie them different sizes. But this is a kind of middle. This is a kind of good size that I've done quite well on. Now, what I'm going to do here is basically tie it using, which is quite unusual. This is a Madeira metallic thread. Number 28 is the code. There's the colour code, as far as the colour code or art number. I'll show you both sides. It's just basically a copper. Now, Wenger do what they call a micro glint, which is again is another type of metallic type thread. They do a kind of gold version as well, or a copper. So there's different types out there. But this one here is simply from Madeira. Now, what I'm going to do is start at right beside the bead. Now I've actually super glued the bead so it doesn't move. Just going to trim this away. I'm just going to work my way down. Now the tail fibres could be hen, it could be cock hackle fibres, it could be whatever you like. Now I've been using some dye. This is dyed CDC. I'm going to show you a whole feather. Basically dyed ginger. And I've been using some of the fibres for dubbing, so I keep a hold of the tips for hackles and for tails. So I'm going to put this on the tail. So I'm just going to come around with basically a kind of loose turn, just to pull it, check the length. That's fine. And then it's just getting a nice shape in the fly, or in the body anyway. Trim this away. Just work my way up. Come down. Just want to tidy the back of the fly. I'm going to come round slightly onto the bend a wee bit. And then, as I say, just run up and down. It's a quick way of doing it. Just keep going to get a nice shape. So I'm just basically going halfway down and then back up and then stop them sort of slightly further up to a reasonable shape. Then I'm going to whip finish. Make sure you tighten that. Trim away. I'm going to change to a highlight. I'm going to change it to, this is a Uni Fire Orange in 8O. So I'm just going to catch this at the head. There's a good aiming point. It's just that. Catch it on like you would do normally. Just form like a collar, really. Be as wide as or long as you like. That's fine. Maybe a couple of mil anyway. Now, with the fly, you can actually, what you can do is you can varnish it. 2 or 3 coats. You can super glue varnish it, which I do sometimes. You can use the resins. I'm going to use basically a light resin. The one I'm using here is from this one here. It's a bit grotty looking. It's the original light and a bit tacky. It's an old one. This one's from Bug Bond. So I'm going to apply the resin using my dubbing needle. I'm going to put it on light. So I'm lightly applying it onto just the thread area. Oops, I got it here. Nice and light. Even that's a wee bit too heavy for me. Basically I put it on, I don't really put it onto the bead. I varnish the bead. So I use the clear varnish once once I've set the resin and I'm happy the way it's sitting, just going to wee drop more here just for the top of the fly. You want that nice taper, obviously resin. Now you want to give it time to set, so if you use your torch, make sure it's set. If I'm doing a lot, you can buy a UV, it's a small box light shape thing. It's for doing nails. If you're doing a few, they're very good for like doing a set and setting them underneath in the cure. And you can spend you really need to cure the resin, making sure it's set before you add or do anything to it. So I'm going to make sure while I'm talking to you that I give it plenty of light and that it's setting. I'm using one that's got it's a wee pedal on the floor that comes with it. There's a wee adapter that you can buy for this, the Bug Bond torch. So it never needs a battery, you just have to have a wee pedal on the floor. Now I'm going to check it, just run my finger around it. You'll get a kind of tackiness. You'll always get tackiness in resins, no matter what. Even when I used to use the 5-minute epoxies, they were tacky after the resin had cured. And to stop it getting, see, it reduces, it loses its shine a wee bit. But there's a kind of slight, you can put it's like a fine grease. It's just when it's set, you get that. But so what I'm going to do, use a clear varnish. First thing I do, too much on there, is to come round the bead and then run it onto the body. Just a wee bit heavy this, so I maybe thinned it down a wee bit. But I'll show you what it's like. Basically that's the equivalent to 2 coats of varnish. So you get tacky. And there we are. That's just a vineyard clear varnish. And then you just allow it to dry. Just as you put it in the what will shrink, it will reduce. So it'll go way down, so it will. And you've got a nice shape. So there you go, that's there. It's just a copper depth charge. It's a bug that drops really quick. It catches the fish's eye, and mainly grayling, but they're very good for brown trout as well. Even sea trout, you'll catch sea trout in this pattern. Small ones, you'll catch big ones too. I mean, I've had salmon on a bug this year, so they see this, they'll have a grab at it. You'll have fun trying to land it like what I did, and I did that. It's a bit of fun. So anyway, there we are. That's the copper depth charge, as I call it. Good pattern, good style of fly to fish when you want your fly or a nymph down in fast water. So I hope you enjoyed that, and again, thanks for watching.